The teams are in the tunnel at Portman Road. Let's get the final thoughts of Darren Ambrose. What are you expecting from this first half? In particular, maybe a bit of nerves from both sides given the record so far, or will they go for it?
Firstly, this is probably the loudest PA system I've ever been involved in, by the way. We can hardly hear coming out of our headphones. But look, opposite us now, flames are going, the teams are on their way out. I can't see an edgy game, I really can't. No. Friday night at Portman Road, under the lights. I can see a fast start, and whoever starts the fastest will probably go on to win this. Ipswich need to start fast because they don't want this crowd to turn. Whereas Sheffield United away from home, they'll be happy with a draw to go away from this, I think, but I don't expect an edgy game whatsoever. Really
intrigued to see how both sides set up, particularly Sheffield United. No Gus Harmer in the team. Will it be a really defensive night for them? Would they take a 0-0?
Yes, I think they will. I really do. I think they'll take the 0-0, take a point away from Portman Road, because they know Ipswich need a win. They know Ipswich are favourites to win this division. And if they're going to do that, they need to start performing and getting 3 points as soon as possible. So yes, I think they'll take a draw. Can I see it being 0-0? Absolutely not, I can't. I see goals in this game. Maybe famous last words, but I really see a lot of goals in this.
Who are your potential match winners?
I think Ipswich will win. I think
player-wise, which players?
Yeah,
sorry.
I think George Hurst not needs to perform, but you know what? I'm really intrigued to seeing this Valley Egley to come on. I'm sure he will. I think Marcelino Nunes will come on and really make an impact. I can't see anything but an Ipswich win here tonight, and that's not just my head over heart, my heart over head. Of course, I can see Ipswich winning, and I can see it coming from one of those substitutions.
Okay, huge night for Sheffield United as well. They've only ever started a league season with 5 straight defeats on one previous occasion, and that was 30 years ago. Will history repeat itself at Portman Road? And if it does, can Ruben Sayers survive? Ipswich also in search of their first championship win of the season. Your live and exclusive action on Talksport 2 is in the company of the former Ipswich midfielder Darren Ambrose and Talksport's Jim Proudfoot.
Hugh, thank you, and a very good evening to you for a Friday under the lights at Portman Road. And it caught the eye when the fixtures came out, but 5 weeks into the season, it has plenty on it for unexpected reasons. Ipswich were the bookies' favourites to win the championship. Opta's computer simulations thought the Blades would come out on top come May. As they meet tonight, they're still yet to win a game between them in League or Cup. But it is at this stage that the season really starts to take form. The frenzied August days are behind us. That cocktail of back-to-business euphoria, speculation and frantic transfer dealings. September brings a little bit more certainty. The focus moving from who will be where to how will they do. The chance to build on or revise the season's hasty first impressions. And both of these clubs really need to do that. The last 4 days of the window, they brought in 11 players between them. A significant overhaul of personnel. They were now charged with overseeing a significant overhaul of their prospects. This is how they line up tonight. Alex Palmer in goal for Ipswich. Furlong, O'Shea, Greaves and Davis the back four. Matusua and Kayuste in midfield. McAteer, Akpom and Philogene and Hurst. Cooper in goal for Sheffield United. Godfrey, Tanganga, McGuinness and Burrows. And new look defence. O'Hare, Peck and Matos in midfield. No Harmer. Brooks, Cannon and Barry. The front three for Sheffield United. Harmer is on the Blades bench along with McCallum, Mee, Samare, Campbell, Chong, One, Sariki and Davis. And the Ipswich subs are Johnson, Keeper, Nunez and Taylor, Schmodix, Clark, Egeli, Azon and Christian Walton is the substitute goalkeeper. Referee tonight, Farai Hallam. Ipswich blue shirts, white shorts, kicking from left to right in this first half. And defending the Bobby Robson stand, Sheffield United, red and white striped shirts with the solid red backs and black shorts were underway. Ipswich 20th, Sheffield United 24th, and bottom of the lot, Ipswich only one home win in 21 league games. Sheffield United coming here on the back of 6 straight defeats in all competitions, 5 of those this season. Not a game you want to lose. An opportunity early on for Ipswich to bring the ball forward and turn on halfway with Akpom to Philogene. Leif Davis making his way forward. Left-footed cross. Hurst tries to guide it down. falls outside the penalty area for a long-range shot, which is easily cleared. It was O'Shea that fired it in. Sheffield United will be able to get it away, helped on by Tom Cannon, and down the left-hand side. First chance for Louis Barry to attack. What an open start of the game this is. But Barry couldn't find a way past Matusua, and O'Shea mops up behind him and will clear. This is not a place for the faint-hearted tonight, Darren Ambrose.
What a start this is. What a fast start for both sides as Ipswich attack once again.
You said this won't be 0-0. Won't be 0-0 after 10 mines. Ipswich coming forward again. Might not be 0-0 after 2 minutes with a right-footed shot that comes in, and Cooper can fall onto it to deny Jayden Philogene the game's opening goal. It's the proverbial basketball match. Both sides going at it, hoping to expose the weaknesses and frailties of the opposition.
We've had 3 attacks already, Jim. It's only 1 minute, 25 seconds into it. And you know what? I see the first Ipswich attack, and they were so high. Jacob Greaves was the last man, probably 30 yards away from the Sheffield United goal. And that allowed Sheffield United to get in down the other end. And I love to see that. Jayden Philogene, once he picked up the ball, he attacked the left full-back, and he cut inside the right full-back, hit a shot. It was a comfortable save in the end, but what a start already.
One of those games where it looks as though neither side is going to go down wondering, which is great to see for the neutral. 2 minutes in, and it's a free kick which Ipswich will take in their left-back position. Haven't won a league game here at Portman Road this year. Just 2 points in the league here on home turf this year, scoring 9 goals and conceding 31 in those 11 games. I think there is still a feeling in this part of the world as they win a free kick midway inside their own half that once that first win comes, the whole situation could turn around pretty quickly. I know there's a lot of confidence, and I have some myself. I still think that Ipswich are the team to beat in the Championship over the whole season.
I do. I said it at the start of the season. They were my predicted side, not just because it was my former team. I thought they'd win the division, and it's not happened just yet. What did you say? Last win, was it Chelsea in December last year? They need to change that. They need to make this a fortress, starting with tonight.
Callum O'Hare's had a good start of the game. It's a nice little layoff from him. Matos tries to make his way forward. Ipswich smuggle it back for Palmer, and the pressure was immediately applied by O'Hare. But the long clearance through the midfield is headed down by Tanganga. And here's the really impressive Siddy Peck, who on the eve of his 21st birthday captains the Blades side for the first time tonight. He has it again now. He's running towards the edge of the penalty area. Little layoff out towards the right-hand side where Ben Godfrey's cross is cleared. Godfrey back here at Portman Road. He had a frustrating loan spell here last season. Injury deprived him of too many opportunities to make an impression. Only 5 games in that loan spell, but he's back here tonight. Long ball played for by Tanganga, the £10 million arrival from Millwall. Well dealt with at the back by the Ipswich debutant Furlong. Down towards the right-hand side, another opportunity for McAteer to try and bring it away, but he's lost out. Harrison Burrows can come forward for the Blades. Back to Peck in the heart of the Sheffield United midfield. And his white boots, he's turned one way and then the other. Little layoff to Matos to his left on his debut, having signed from Chelsea. Now Harrison Burrows, the former Peterborough man. Played up the left touchline for Louis Barry. Barry, another one of the Sheffield United summer acquisitions, signed on loan from Aston Villa, still hoping for his first goal at this level in his career. And then Greaves with a back header under pressure from Cannon. It's gone wide of goalkeeper Palmer, safely wide, but out of play for a corner. It looked to be a routine touch from Greaves back to his keeper, but he got the angle all wrong, and it's out of play for a very cheap corner.
Yeah, just a lack of communication. I think Jacob Greaves felt that he may have come out for it. Alex Palmer, he didn't, and then he headed it back. I think it's the last thing they needed to concede a corner after such a good start.
5 minutes in, it's 0-0. And a Sheffield United corner on the left that Burrows is going to take. It'll be an away swinger. 4 attacking it. And the header goes over the bar. I think it was Tanganga who made his way forward. It was a free header. Nobody had picked him up, and he made a run just wide of the near post, and he couldn't get the ball to do enough. It's flown high and wide of this left-hand post. Now to play for a goal kick. Good chance.
Yeah, very good chance. I think he's made a hash of this, Tanganga. As you said, he's free. I think he's got away from McAteer inside the box. It's a free header. He's jumped the highest. He just got his header all wrong. Tanganga, I think that's a big opportunity, by the way.
Those are the thoughts of Darren Ambrose here on Talksport 2. And it's 0-0 between Darren's old club Ipswich and Sheffield United. Cayusta back for a second season on loan. He's lost out to Peck in the midfield battle. O'Hare getting it forward. An opportunity to clip the ball deep inside the penalty area from Sheffield United, but overhit by Brooks. And straight out of play for a goal kick to Ipswich, who just need to take stock, as you say. They made an excellent start, but defensively, they have been poor. I mean, Palmer's been at the club since January. He's not kept a clean sheet yet.
No, absolutely not. And he's been a good signing, by the way, Alex Palmer. I just think they're getting it a little bit wrong in the midfield. A bit too many touches. Jens Kajus there turned and he lost out to Sidney Peck, which allowed an opportunity. But again, wrong decision. Andre Brooks upfield. It was a wrong decision. He tried to, I think, hit one towards the back post inside the goal area. He didn't get it right at all. But they just need to settle down, Ipswich, after a good opening few minutes.
Furlong playing the ball down the right-hand side, but they've lost it. It was Akpom at fault, and O'Hare plays it in. It's blocked well by O'Shea and goes out for a throw that'll be taken on the Sheffield United left. And it's been a really good response from Ruben Sayez's players over the last 3 or 4 minutes after that potentially torrid start. And they've had the best chance, and now an opportunity to launch a long throw inside the penalty area. It's Jaffet Tanganga that has come across to pick the ball up from in front of the hoardings. Stands on the blue carpeted area around the outside of the pitch and trying to get as much of a run up as he can. There isn't much of one here. Launches that long throw inside the penalty area and O'Shea heads it away. Back it comes in from Matos, and then Greaves got a kick. O'Hare has fired it wide anyway, but the whistle had gone. Greaves trying to get in there. Tom Cannon raised his right boot going for the ball, and he caught Greaves in the ribcage. Free kick to Ipswich, 0-0, 7.5 minutes of race by.
Yeah, fantastic response, as you said, from Sheffield United, particularly Callum O'Hare, Sidney Peck, just getting on the ball, Ipswich allowing those two to play, making a few errors, a little bit sloppy. Ipswich in their final third, just need to settle down, but good response from Sheffield United.
Furlong with a long ball forward. Hurst tried to hold it up, couldn't do so. And then Sheffield United win the free kick as Tanganga brings it away and McAteer has fallen into him. A free kick to the Blades on halfway. George Hurst leading the line, a boyhood Owls fan, playing against the Blades for the very first time. His dad did famously in that FA Cup semi-final between the two Sheffield clubs, back more than 30 years ago now, which dates us all. And then George gets the opportunity to face the Blades. Free kick taken by Burrows, but referee Hallam isn't happy. He's blown his whistle and he'll have to do it all again. And Ipswich are keeping an ultra high line here.
Yeah, by the way, I think he was offside. If they'd allowed that to go, I think Louis Barry was offside, and that's what the Ipswich players are saying. You've allowed it to play it quickly. He's offside. It should be their ball. They're really high up the pitch.
Yeah, 14 yards outside the penalty area for a free kick taken on halfway. In it comes now. O'Shea backpedals and heads away. Akpom tried to help it further out. Peck back into the fray, and Brooks helped it on. Ipswich clear, giving Philogene something to chase after, but Matos covered the ground quickly enough and was able to get back and find his goalkeeper, Cooper. Back out for Matos again. And his long ball forward drifts over the head of Louis Barry. And straight out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Ipswich right-hand side. 9.5 gone. And 0-0 here on Talksport 2 at Portman Road with Jim Proudfoot and Darren Ambrose talking you through the action. Blades hoping to get their first win of the season here. It would only be their second here at Portman Road in the league in 50 years. Leif Davis getting the ball forward. Add to the yellow-booted Philogene over on the left-hand touchline. Philogene comes inside, turns it, then back past Brooks, out towards Leif Davis. Still here at Portman Road, despite plenty of summer transfer speculation. Davis with a great ball in, Hurst, and then Akpom behind him. Couldn't get the touch to steer it over the line. Hurst at the near post with a flick. And it just got slightly behind Akpom as it came through. And he couldn't adjust quickly enough just to get something on it. Any kind of decent touch there, and he couldn't have missed.
Yeah, I think Hurst, he needs to get a touch on that. And I have to say, I think Cooper did. I think the Sheffield United goalie, Cooper, got a touch, just got it behind Chuba Akpom. Otherwise, he's going to head that into an empty net. We haven't seen the replay on our screens in front of us yet, but I just think Cooper got a vital touch in the last minute.
Furlong taking the throw for Ipswich. That was certainly their best moment of the game so far. O'Shea going back for his goalkeeper. Palmer waited, and Cannon was putting the pressure on him all the time. He did get it away. Then Greaves with the long ball forward towards halfway. The Tanganga heads back to the edge of the Ipswich penalty area, and Akpom is put under pressure by Mark McGuinness. And it's a free kick to Ipswich. They want to take it quickly. O'Shea bending it over the top, and it's a great ball as well. Round the back of Godfrey. Here's Philogene again. Inside the penalty area. The angle's tight. Cooper got his angles right at the near post. Hands behind the ball to make the save. Well rescued, the rebound over on the far touchline by Philogene. Now it comes in from Leif Davis. And Tanganga tried to knock it out the hands of his own goalkeeper, who gave him a shot in the nick of time and was able to make the save. 3 big contributions from Michael Cooper in about 90 seconds.
What a game. What a game, Jim, so far. End-to-end stuff at the moment. As you said, Michael Cooper keeping them in. I looked at the replay of that delivery from Leif Davis. He did get a touch. Otherwise, Chuba Akpom was just going to head it into an empty net. I know the game plan. Absolutely. Get it to Jaden Philogene. Attack Ben Godfrey. Kieran McKenna knows all about Ben Godfrey.
But they've got to keep it tight at the other end. And United will bring it forward here with Louis Barry, and he's done well to win another corner. Fizzing in a ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Furlong was in the way to steer it behind. So
I keep looking down in front of me, Jim, and Kieran McKenna is saying, get the ball out. I was here last season. Son for Spurs calls nightmares for Ben Godfrey, and he's saying, give it to him, let him attack him. And it seems they are. Leif Davis and Jaden Philogene down the left are causing all sorts of problems.
So Burrows to take this latest Sheffield United corner. 0-0, 13 gone. And another Tanganga header has gone over the bar. Another good delivery. That was a much harder chance than the one that he sent high and wide early in the game. He was off balance there. It came slightly behind him, and he had to adjust and headed on the turn as he was coming away from the edge of the 6-yard box. Nearly impossible to keep it down under those circumstances.
Yeah, difficult header, that one, as you said. I mean, I think he got closer for that one than he did on his first one, to be honest. But yeah, it was an outswinger. He ended up diving backwards. Difficult chance, Tanganga. But he's a threat. He's a threat from set plays. That's 2 in a row that he's got on the end of.
That would be a concern for Ipswich. The fact that he has won 2 headers. Well, the first one was a free header. That one wasn't. But he still made first contact. Goalless still. Hurst chasing a long ball through the middle. Burrows had to shuffle across, and then Tanganga did well, got his angles right to hook it clear over his shoulder on the edge of the penalty area. Ipswich come again in a deeper area with Swedish international Jens Kujist. And Peck, with a very strong sliding challenge, has managed to flick the ball off him and out of play for a Sheffield United throw. 0-0, 14 minutes gone. The only time that the Blades have ever started with 5 successive league defeats was 30 years ago, the 95-96 campaign. Really bleak start. Still ended up 9th and didn't miss out on a playoff place by too much. In fact, there are a few historical parallels that would suggest that there really is still loads of time for either of these sides to sort things out from the position they find themselves in at the moment. Harrison Burrows working forward from halfway. Looked like a handball in there. Akpom was well placed, better placed than the referee. Nothing given against Burrows. Ipswich have got it back and get it back for Palmer. Palmer clipping it down towards the right-hand side for his old West Brom teammate Darnell Furlong. But McGuinness stepping up from the defensive line, gets it away from Akpom. Peck can bring it forward now to within 20 yards of the edge of the penalty area. He's got that again. Taken out towards the right-hand side. Work back to the edge of the Sheffield United box for Andre Brooks. Another product of the academy. Back from him to Tanganga. Here's McGuinness. McGuinness to Burrows, who gets it back from Louis Barry. Burrows within 5 yards of the edge of the box. Good passing at close quarters here from Sheffield United. Then Burrows goes down inside the penalty area after another clever little reverse ball from Matos. The referee says no foul. And Ipswich are able to bring it away.
Yeah, no foul for me, just to coming together in the box. I don't think there's anything in it whatsoever. Waiting to see the replay of that. But he's in a good position when Farah Hallam said no chance.
Has given a free kick this time. And the Blades will take it about 20 yards inside Ipswich territory. Just getting another view of it now. I think Cannon waited for the contact. He knew that Matusua was going to be coming. It was Burrows, I beg your pardon. The arm was out from Matusua. Burrows almost leant into it as much as anything else to initiate the contact.
He knew it was coming. Matusua was just there. He did get his arm onto his shoulder, but nowhere near enough for him to go down. Good decision for me, no penalty.
Barry runs over this. Burrows sweeping the free kick in, and the dark-haired Greaves going to head it away. Goes back out towards O'Hare. Nice delivery from him. Hurst, back defending, can volley clear. And as far as Matos, and he will turn, and then he's under pressure. Looked to lay it back to his goalkeeper. Then spun and turned through the centre circle and had to slide it away before he was put under pressure. Burrows gets it in from the Sheffield United left. O'Hare heads it down. Palmer with plenty of time to watch that wide. Just took a nick on its way through though, and it's another Sheffield United corner.
Yeah, it did. He's not the tallest, Callum O'Hare, is he? But he got on the end of that from a good delivery. And as he's headed it, it's his Jens Kajust, and off for a corner kick. It's a good spot from the referee.
England involved in T20 cricket, incidentally, have scored, wait for it, 304 in their 20 overs against South Africa. It is an England record.
Wow.
Phil Salt got 141 not out. In comes the latest corner. No Tanganga header that time. And Ipswich clear. And Sheffield United go all the way back towards Cooper. Cooper blasting a right-footed ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area, and that's headed back then by O'Hare after Furlong's initial clearance. And he's just hooked it forward and goes out of play. Yeah, updates from that T20 international at Old Trafford. Over on Talksport right now. Suffice to say, Phil Salt, 141 not out of 60 balls. The fastest century any England players ever scored in T20 history. And good contributions as well from Josh Butler, who got 83 off 30, and Harry Brook 41 not out of 21. 304 for 2 England in their 20 overs. I think they might win.
That's incredible.
Just extraordinary, isn't it?
Incredible.
Here's McGuinness at the back for Sheffield United. It's 0-0 here with 18 minutes gone. And McGuinness on his Blades debut. Not that long ago that he signed for Luton in a £10 million deal from Cardiff. And he has it again now, 5 yards outside the penalty area. He goes square for Tanganga. Matos showing for the ball in space. He has sat deeper than Harmer would have done. So it's not just a swap in terms of personnel in the midfield from Ruben Sayers, bringing Matos in to replace Harmer. So Hare is playing predominantly as a number 10, and Matos is in alongside Peck. So a slight difference in game plan. Beautiful turn in the midfield by Kajust, and then a great ball down the right-hand side as well. Here's Casey McAteer inside the Blades penalty area, and Cooper denies him, diving to his right-hand side to beat the cross-come shot away. Blades then clear with Brooks, just getting it out of harm's way, and back into Ipswich territory.
It's a good save again, Michael Cooper from Sheffield United. This time McAteer gets in behind. It's a good ball. I think it's Jens Kajust. Plays a lovely ball in between the fullback and the centre half. He gets there. He could deliver it early. George Hurst is making a run. Decides not to. It's a great strike from an angle. It's a tight angle. He shouldn't really get beaten from there, Michael Cooper. And he didn't. He got a strong hand to it and pushed it to safety.
Matos on halfway has slid in and worked the ball back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Philogene is first to it and scores. It's a horrible moment in the midfield for Alex Matos, the player brought in to replace Gus Harmer. He sliced it back towards the edge of his own penalty area. And from there, as soon as Philogene got there first, the writing was on the wall. racing towards the edge of the box, tucking it onto his right foot and firing it low past Cooper to give Ipswich the lead.
Let's talk about the goal first and foremost. Jayden Philogene, absolutely excellent. You've got to feel for Matos. He's tried to intercept a square ball and it's come off him and gone 60 yards, 50, 60 yards over to Jayden Philogene, puts him in. I said, can you attack Ben Godfrey? Leif Davies with an outstanding run on the outside allowed Jayden Philogene to come in. The goal opened up, and this time Michael Cooper could do nothing about the finish. Absolutely brilliant finish, slid it into the far corner. But like I said, you've got to feel for Matos. No way did he expect it to rebound off his foot, go 50 yards in front of Jayden Philogene. But he done the rest. Fantastic finish. And it was coming, Jim, it was coming.
Yeah, the goal on 20 minutes, I suppose the only surprise, and this is down to the way that Sheffield United have attacked as well, was that it took as long as that for the deadlock to be broken. And the Blades have been enterprising, pushing forward, but they've looked porous defensively, and they've conceded first again. Ball is over on the Ipswich left with Leif Davis. Blades have to make sure one doesn't become two here. That cross from Davis travelled a long way, went in behind Hurst though, through the penalty area and out of play for a Sheffield United throw.
I just want to talk about the part again, once again, that Leif Davis played in that goal. As a wide player myself, when you get the ball and you're attacking the fullback, all you need is an outside overlap, and it attracts the fullback to Leif Davis, who was making the overlap, which allowed Jayden Philogene to cut in, have that little bit extra space. The part that Leif Davis played in that, who, by the way, has started this game fantastically well down the left-hand side, both of Jayden Philogene and Leif Davis, is causing all sorts of problems.
Well, we're midway through the first half. It has been fast, frantic and frenetic, and it's Ipswich that lead with that Jayden Philogene goal. Beautifully taken, his first of the season. And is it going to be the platform for Ipswich's first league win here at Portman Road in 2025? Sheffield United now in the position, chasing the game again. Haven't had a shot on target today. In fact, they still haven't had a single shot on target away from home in the league this season.
It's difficult for them, isn't it? There's travelling support as well. There's a lot of them over there, long way to go on a Friday evening. And could they be leaving disappointed once again?
Matusua in strongly, but Pecker's won it back. Now he goes out towards Louis Barry. Barry with a high ball hanging inside the penalty area. Brooks there to attack it. Couldn't do so, but the second's won by Burrows on the edge of the Ipswich box as the Blades look for a near instant response. And then Burrows just trying to play a ball round the corner for Matos. But it was well defended by Matusua. He just stood there. He didn't allow Matos to make the run. And the ball goes straight out of play for a goal kick that Alex Palmer will take. 23 minutes in, and it's 1-0 to Ipswich. More live football for you tomorrow from the Championship here on Talksport 2. A double bill, Oxford-Leicester at 12:30, followed by Stoke-Birmingham at 3. And then Premier League action, 2 games from the Premier League tomorrow over on Talksport. Game Day Live, the award-winning service from Talksport, starts at 11 ahead of a 12:30 start for Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. Ange back in North London. And Arsenal against Nottingham Forest, his first game in charge at the Emirates tomorrow at 12:30. Game Day Live then follows that with Adrian Durham, Troy Deeney and Mickey Gray. All the goals as they go in from the Premier League and EFL, including Newcastle, Wolves, Everton, Villa and Fulham Leeds. And then at 8 o'clock, a West London derby as Chelsea go to Brentford. That's tomorrow night on Talksport. Here and now here at Portman Road, it's Ipswich that lead by a goal to nil. Kieran McKenna not happy with a long ball forward from Furlong, which he felt should have been more accurate. It's just drifted straight out of play for a throw that Sheffield United will take on their left-hand side with Harrison Burrows. 4 shots on target for Ipswich after a very impressive opening 25 minutes, and they lead 1-0.
Yeah, really good, really good. But more impressive is I asked Alex Jones, didn't I, at the start, the Ipswich reporter, how Marcelino Núñez, what the response would be. I was interested to see when he warmed up to a massive applause and cries of Núñez, Núñez. and then a dispirited Norwich anthem, Norwich chant from the Ipswich faithful. Seems like they've taken to him already, Jim.
Oh, absolutely. Davis has been fouled. Ipswich wanted the advantage to be played, and it was, and that's why you can hear the barracking of the decision. Listen, you sign a player for £10 million from Norwich, and he turns up not with an Ipswich scarf, but with a scarf that says Pride of Anglia.
Amazing.
I think that you've probably shown that you've got the cojones for the job, and that you're going to be able to cope with anything that comes your way, all the brickbats that he knows he will get.
The announcement video was one of the very best that I've seen, by the way.
Ipswich get it forward here towards Hurst. Nunez waiting in the wings to come on today, as is the young Norwegian winger Sindre Ageli, who is the most expensive player in Championship history, with a £17.5 million price tag on his head. He made his debut for Norway early last season, and one interested punter watching here today is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who, having recently left Besiktas, is here to potentially see his countrymen come on at some stage, taking in the game as well. He'll be enjoying it. It's been a really good watch. We're 26 minutes in, and Ipswich are a goal up. Burrows tries to get it forward here, but O'Shea was there ahead of O'Hare. Gets it back for Palmer, and the Ipswich goalkeeper works it back outside the box, then immediately gets a return ball. It takes it 8-9 yards out, played it forward towards Cayusta. Sheffield United trying to employ the press, and Ipswich trying to just draw them in to be able to play through it, hoping to draw players upfield for that long ball over the top for Philogene, but once bitten, twice shy. Sheffield United didn't commit too many forward on that occasion. They've got work to do, training by Golden Hill, and plenty of signs of promise for them as an attacking entity in the opening 15 minutes. Then Ipswich got on top, and now that the Blades are behind, you can see that they're a side bereft of confidence, Darren.
Yeah, of course, but I do feel Ipswich need another one and need another goal. Spoke about this at the start. When they score, they always look like they concede towards the end of the match. So I think Kieran McKenna will know that if they can go another goal, maybe two more before half-time, then they'll see this game out. But if not, the nervousness around Portman Road will creep in once again. So I think he'll know that they need another one.
Here's the goal scorer, Philogene, coming off the left-hand side and making his way right through the centre circle. He's drawn Ben Godfrey with him, so Davis is unmarked at the far post. Deep cross in towards him, headed away. Actually, it would have fallen Hurst's way. It was a good defensive header by McGuinness. And the Blades clear towards halfway again. But O'Shea's got it. And the Irishman goes to his right-hand side for Furlong. Ipswich had a load of players away with Ireland on international duty over the last week or so, including Dara O'Shea, who played against Armenia on Tuesday. Here's Furlong. Oh, beautiful turn from Furlong. He's unlucky that he didn't have any room to work with on the touchline, having just drawn Barry in. He flicked it past him.
That's so close as well. It was lovely footwork. And one of the Sheffield United coaches actually almost got into a little scuffle with Furlong. Nothing happened. He was outside the technical area, tried to get the ball back. Furlong was having none of it, didn't allow him to play quickly.
And Oliver Langford, the fourth official, is just policing that particular situation as we speak. Now Peck has won a free kick. 20 yards outside the Ipswich penalty area. And be interesting to see how high a line Town will keep here.
Yeah, an air of frustration in Kieran McKenna there. They don't want to concede these needless free kicks, I think that was. And straight away I see him go back to his coaching staff, where he's got a little screen in front of him to see what happened there. I don't think they need to be giving away these free kicks, Jim.
Well, Cannon is in the D in a deliberately offside position, hoping that the Ipswich players will drop back in. It's going to be Burrows to take it. It's a left-footed delivery that is easily headed away. It was too low and flat, and Cayusta was there to nod it out towards the far touchline. But back it will come again with Callum O'Hare for Sheffield United. Out towards the right flank for Brooks. Brooks with a layoff. Peck will take it on. Not the worst ball in, and Greaves off balance. Had to deal with it. Hammered it away. Ipswich pushed out, and that just put a little bit of pressure on Peck as he had the ball. So he's used the emergency exit of his goalkeeper, Cooper, behind him. Cooper straight forward through the midfield towards Burrows. Now Akpom puts the pressure on McGuinness, but he can find his captain, Sidney Peck. Peck rolls it forward over the halfway line to Callum O'Hare. Straight back again. Now Tanganga. Wearing 2, the centre half to Peck. Long ball forward from him towards Brooks. It's controlled well on his right thigh. Over on the touchline. O'Hare showing for him. Back out towards Brooks. 1-2 between him and Peck. Work back towards Tanganga on halfway, and now to McGuinness. And Ipswich just drop deep again, keeping a good defensive shape behind the ball. Remember, they're a goal up, but they haven't kept a clean sheet for an age. So from that point of view, they will certainly feel that the job isn't done yet. Hurst backtracking with Tanganga. He's done well to win it back. Philogene gets it forward. Godfrey is AWOL. And Chuba Akpom peels out of the left-hand side of the area to get there. Akpom fires it across the face of the 6-yard box, but far too hard and fast for McAteer. And straight through and out for a throw.
Yeah, it's good play once again. I have to say, Chuba Akpom, he has impressed me in this opening 31 minutes, but it's the play from George Hurst, the desire to get back and win that ball. And then Akpom with a good run. Jayden Philogene with a good ball. Probably chose the wrong option. There was a cutback on. Try to go to the byline and get the cross in, just overhit it. But he's impressed me, Chuba Akpom. Some of the positions he's getting in, Jim, it's causing problems for the Sheffield United defenders.
Now he's just come back there to try and flick one on. But the Blades have won it back. Akpom, who had that sensational goal-scoring season for Middlesbrough 3 seasons ago. He's got a really good record against Sheffield United as well. He, in that season for Middlesbrough, played them twice and scored 3 goals. And he's just finding a little pocket of space here as Philogene brings it forward. And Ipswich will work it over the top instead, but too much on the pass from Greaves for Leif Davis. But the Blades are really struggling in that right-back position. Something that you identified very early on, Darren, that Godfrey is there to be got at. And Ipswich, because he was here, they know his strengths, they know his weaknesses, and they're being able to expose him and draw him out of position on a frequent basis.
Yeah, I think it was his last appearance against Spurs, and by no means am I comparing Jayden Philogene to Son for Spurs, but it was his last appearance, and I see the opening 3 or 4 minutes, Kieran McKenna saying, give it to Jayden Philogene. He knows, as you said, he's seen him firsthand that he can be got at, and that's where the goal come from, of course, and all the good play for Ipswich is coming down the left-hand side.
And they're over there again now, the far touchline in front of the Cobbold stand here at Portman Road. Palmer put under pressure with a back pass that was very well read by Brooks coming in off the right flank. And Palmer had to hurriedly get it clear, just chip it into touch. Sheffield United take the throw, lose possession, win it back in the blink of an eye. Peck goes back for Tanganga. Tanganga deeper through the centre circle for the tall, fair-haired McGuinness, and now Burrows playing it forward, working it into the feet of Tom Cannon. And back out towards Burrows, who's fouled by McAteer, and referee Hallam's going to call him over. There've been a couple of niggly fouls from Casey McAteer. Another one of the summer signings, arrived from Leicester, the start of the season up in the East Midlands before coming here in a £12 million deal. He's another that's been away on international duty with the Irish this week. Free kick which will be taken on the Sheffield United left. Again, Ipswich keeping a almost artificially high line, but O'Shea leads the drop back in. Kayusta with the defensive header. And then Brooks over on the far side of the penalty area as it fell his way, has seen it come square off his right boot and straight out of play for a goal kick. Nowhere near goal. He just completely mishit that from a half-decent position.
Yeah, but it's a needless free kick once again that Ipswich are giving away. McAteer this time, the forward's going nowhere, and he's fouled him. That's 3 or 4 in a row that they don't need to be conceding at this stage of the game. They need to get to half-time. There was a big chance. He just got it all wrong at the end, didn't he?
Ipswich trying to play through the press. McAteer launches one too far ahead of Hurst. And straight through for Cooper. Now Burrows, back for McGuinness. And McGuinness knocking it square towards Tanganga. Tanganga out to the Sheffield United right, where Godfrey can win a throw in front of the travelling Blades supporters. The away allocation sold out. Another fantastic exhibition of travelling support on a Friday evening, particularly when you come in to watch a side who've had 4 defeats in a row. Cameras actually panned to the Sheffield United bench, where Ben Mee is sitting there, eyes out on Storks, taking it all in. Gus Harmer's sitting next to him. His body language slightly different. In comes a curling effort, well wide from that right-hand side for Brooks. I'm not suggesting that Harmer wouldn't be ready to come on in the blink of an eye, but he is sitting there, he's looking up at the heavens, and he cut the figure of a man who's disaffected by his lot and very frustrated that he's been left out tonight.
It seemed that way. He was slouching back in his chair, wasn't he? As you said, looking up to the skies. Might have just caught him at the wrong time. I'm sure, as you said, he'll be ready to come on no matter when it may be, but we spoke about it before. Big decision to leave him out, and it's proving it at the moment.
Mosea stands, hands in his pockets on the edge of the technical area in a big black puffer jacket on what is quite a cool autumnal evening here in Suffolk. Peck has done really well to win that back from Akpom. Moseas must be wondering when he must be able to get a break. He's had 31 matches in his championship career as a manager. He's only won 9 of them. Did keep Hull up last season. He took over when they were bottom back in December, and he kept them up. But we'll be hoping that he's not going to be involved in a relegation battle for too long with his new club, who've just seen play stop here. There's a challenge that came in from City Peck round the side of Chuba Akpom and caught him on the shin. There's no foul. The referee will restart play with the drop ball. Ipswich weren't happy. And Akpom was receiving the treatment that he needed, so the Blades players have just come over and taken some fresh instruction on board from Ruben Sayas.
Yeah, Chuba Akpom wasn't happy either. He felt it was a foul on him. City Peck sliding in, wrong side. It's hard to tell from the angle we see, Jim, whether it was a foul or not, but he's clearly not happy, clearly thinking it should have been. And if you think about the angle he come in at and the way Chuba Akpom went down, then you'd expect that to be given, where the referee was.
Play restarts with a drop ball to Sheffield United. They were in possession when the play stopped. Burrows, a forward here for Matos. Matos to the left-hand side for Louis Barry. Ball across the edge of the penalty area, but it's Philogene that's back defending to get it away. Clipped into space. Another really good challenge, this one from the sliding McGuinness. And then played forward to within 5 yards of the edge of the penalty area for Burrows. Louis Barry will take over. Right-footed cross from him. Easy header away from O'Shea. Back in from Tanganga. First time ball in from Burrows, but he sliced the cross behind Palmer's goal and straight out for a goal kick. 38 gone, 1-0 to Ipswich.
Just they're trying to force it at the moment, Sheffield United, aren't they? I'm looking about 3 or 4 times. They've had the ball, City Peck, Callum O'Hare from around 20 yards out. Defence are not really shutting them down. Sometimes you just got to put your foot through it, get a shot on goal. But they're not. They're trying to go wide, getting the cross in. And as soon as the crosses come in, the Ipswich defenders are going to eat them up all day long.
And we are 220 minutes into Sheffield United's away campaign, and still they haven't had a shot on target yet. Here's Akpom trying to get away from Peck, driving through the midfield. Peck's pressure good enough to force a hurried ball to be played inaccurately. And then the Blades clear from the edge of their own box with Tanganga, but he was fouled by Hurst. And the free kick goes the way of the visitors. What's the primary positive for the Blades? Is there anything that they can really grab hold of here and try and build on?
If they keep it at this scoreline until half-time, then yes, I believe Ruben Sayers can get them into the changing room, maybe make a substitution or two. But they just need to try something different, Jim. They keep, as I said, going wide, getting crosses in, and Greaves and O'Shea are just eating them up all day, heading them clear, and Ipswich are getting the second ball. So they need to do something different other than just get it wide and get the crosses in. Sometimes just put your foot through it from 20 yards and see what happens. Might get a ricochet, might get a corner, a set play. You can't just keep doing the same thing all the time.
Well, so far this season, they've scored only the one league goal, which was Tyrese Campbell against Bristol City back on the opening weekend of the season. The XG, though, actually more promising, depending how you look at it, suggests that they should have had 5. So that shows that a lack of a clinical edge in front of goal, but the positive is that at least they are creating chances by and large. Haven't really created too many today. Haven't hit the target with a shot as yet. 6 chances all told, but an XG of only about a quarter of 1 goal, and Ipswich, according to XG, worthy of being a goal up. Throw to Sheffield United here. Harrison Burrows has taken it straight to the feet of O'Hare. Back for Burrows again. And the Blades play some neat passing football here at close quarters before Kayuste comes across to whack it off Matos and straight out of play for a throw. Down by the corner flag. And Tanganga's going to come across to take it to try and launch another long one inside the box.
Yeah, this seems to be their only hope at the moment, Sheffield United. A long throw or a set play needlessly given away from Ipswich. But the defence from Ipswich at the moment, as I said, just clearing everything. It's been good defending, but they need to get to half-time at 1-0.
Throw inside the penalty area. McGuinness came to meet it, and as he did so, he's pushed one of the Ipswich players, Furlong, to the ground. So it's a free kick to the Tractor Boys inside their own penalty area. And again, they've taken it quickly. Good ball forward, though. McAteer decided to let it bounce. Actually justified in doing that. Good, clever step over from Akpom. And Hurst nearly played him in. He made a run round the back of Tanganga, but the sliding challenge from the former Millwall man was good. And then Peck wins a free kick. And the Blades survive.
That's so unlucky, that, Jim. You talk a third man running. It's exactly it. McAteer gets down the right-hand side, tries to actually play Chuba Akpom. He dummies it to George Hurst, carries on his run. George Hurst tries to feed him in. It's great defending, last-ditch defending from Tanganga. If he didn't get there, he's in on goal for a 1-on-1.
Yeah, Tanganga's had a good game. But the heart of that defence alongside McGuinness. He's got it again now, drives it forward. It's an unorthodox piece of defending from O'Shea, but he got it away. And Greaves helps it further clear out for a Sheffield United throw. Over on the Blades right, Philogene has won it back. He's been excellent. And then as soon as I say that, he gives it straight to McGuinness. Now Furlong looking for that ball between centre-half and full-back again. But he got the angle wrong. Tanganga's got plenty of time to run round it, bring it under control, and now find Ben Godfrey. Godfrey, who is on loan at Sheffield United from Atalanta. He moved there from Everton. And Furlong heading it forward, steered back by Burrows, but straight to Darnell Furlong again. Barry struggling to get back goal side. So Furlong can just travel with the ball. There's a little backheel flick from him. Away from Barry. Ipswich work it from the right to the left side of the pitch very quickly and easily. Now we'll try and come back again, and Kayuste was fouled by Peck. And it's a free kick on the edge of the centre circle. I don't think I've ever seen Sidney Peck have a bad game. I think that he has, when you bear in mind, he'd hardly played this time last year. I think he's matured so quickly.
Yeah.
As you can see by the fact that he's given the responsibility of being captain tonight. Here's Philogene over on the Ipswich left. Back to Leif Davis, just chipped inside the penalty area, headed on towards George Hurst, who let it bounce. Now McAteer trying to get a shot in on the turn. Might break Akpom's way, trying to wriggle away from McGuinness. The ball would have beaten him to the keeper anyway. Went to ground, no real appeals that it should have been a penalty. And as Sheffield United bring it forward, they can find space in midfield with O'Hare, who's got the better of Matusua. And he's got Barry making a run to his left, but he just put it straight onto Furlong's right foot. And Ipswich can clear. And the game's becoming stretched again. Here's Kayuste. Back out towards Philogene. Big buzz of expectation every time he gets it. Godfrey isn't going out there anymore. He's letting Brooks do that. Now he'll step up and try and stop him. And a left-footed shot comes in from the edge of the area from McAteer. And that's comfortably saved by Cooper. 1-0.
Yeah, there's a lot happened there, Jim. When it both attacked without really a lot happening. And then it ended with McAteer with a timid shot. And Cooper held onto it well. I mean, there's a theatrical fall from Chuba Akpom in the box a couple of minutes ago. Definitely no penalty. Again, Jaden Philogene causing problems down the left-hand side.
But then, again, another free kick is given away cheaply by Ipswich. And Sheffield United take it quickly. We're about to go into first half stoppage time. 1 or 2, can't see it being any more than that. Fourth official Oliver Langford indicates, sure enough, that it is only just 1 additional minute that's prescribed at the end of this first half. Here on Talksport 2, where Ipswich and Sheffield United both looking for their first win of the season, but it's the Tractor Boys who are on top in first half stoppage time. It will be their first win in 14 games in all competitions. And their first win at Portman Road since they beat Bristol Rovers in an FA Cup tie here back in January. Ball out for a Sheffield United throw. Tanganga with the ball in his hand. So one last opportunity for the Blades to get themselves back on level terms before the break. They've flooded the penalty area, and that, I think it's fair to say, is going to be the worst long throw that you see all season. It didn't make halfway to the edge of the penalty area.
I shouldn't laugh. How's that not a foul throw, though, Jim, by the way? He slipped out of his hands.
It's like a top. It's like a top spinner from a bowler. The deliberate slow one.
That's amazing.
It's half time and it's 1-0 to Ipswich. And Tanganga, I think, will have a little grin about that as he makes his way off the field. He did actually find a teammate in McGuinness, but there was no time for him to do anything with it. Ipswich trotting down the tunnel away to our right-hand side at the corner of this ground, and they'll be well pleased with their efforts so far. Deservedly ahead after that 20th minute goal from Jayden Philogene. Half-time at Portman Road. Ipswich 1, Sheffield United 0. Hugh?
So Ipswich halfway to their first win of the championship season. Their fans clearly the happier. It's actually turned into a far more even game than the one we got in the early exchanges, Darren. Ipswich straight out of the traps. What did you make of their start?
Really good, really good. As expected, I thought they were worthy of the lead. I thought they could have got in the lead a little bit earlier in the game. But then it was a good response from Sheffield United after the opening 5 or 6 minutes. They ended up having some attacks of their own. But then the goal came, and I think the goal came at the right time for Ipswich, and I think they deserved it. I think it's been a really good game, actually. As you said, it's been a lot tighter than even I envisaged at the moment. I think this is going to open up in the second half either way.
Yeah, it looks like it will. I've been kind of impressed by Sheffield United, I have to say, just in terms of the performance they've put in so far, particularly reaction to going a goal behind. It hasn't looked like a club in the levels of turmoil that we discussed pre-match.
No, it's not. And they have to win. You can't lose 5 in a row at the start of a campaign. So they know they have to get something out of this match. I mean, they're going to lose 5 in a row if it carries on like this in terms of the scoreline. It's unacceptable at the moment for Sheffield United, but I agree with you, Hugh. I think it's been a good performance from them, in all honesty. They have reacted well. They've responded well to going a goal down. They've responded well to the opening 5 or 6 minutes of Ipswich's fast start. They're just a little bit too predictable in front of goal, and I think that Ruben Sayers needs to get them in at half-time and try and come up with a plan B, as opposed to, as I said during commentary, just delivering balls from any angle that the Ipswich defenders are just eating up.
They're not, if you like, defensively dynamic enough. That's one thing I'd say about them. They brought in some new faces, of course, during the summer. One of those was Ben Godfrey, who did his absolute best to try and stop Jayden Philogene. But a little overlap from Leif Davis caused a pause in his thought, and that allowed Philogene, who'd gathered an intercept from Alex Matos that travelled, 35, 40 yards across the pitch, made no mistake with the finish. What did you make of the goal?
I mean, it was a unique interception, wasn't it, from Matos, and I feel for him, because by no means did he feel, once he slid back and tried to block the crossfield pass, that it's going to end up 40 yards in front of Jayden Philogene. But I think the rest was down to him and Leif Davis, and as you said, you've got to take nothing away from the part that Leif Davis had in this. And for a wide player myself, I know exactly the run he's made, and we've got the joys of having the screen in front of us, the replays, and it just paused Ben Godfrey in a couple of milliseconds, which allowed Jayden Philogene that opportunity to cut inside, get that 1-2 yards of space, but take nothing away from the finish. Michael Cooper's had a good game in the Sheffield United goal, had no chance for this. Perfect placement into the far corner. I thought it was an outstanding goal in terms of collecting the mistake from Matos, but the rest was down to Philogene and Leif Davis.
6.5 hours without a goal for Sheffield United in the Championship. And I know you mentioned they're a little bit too predictable in front of goal, but how would you change things if you were Ruben Sayers? They've had 54% possession. They've had 5 shots, none of those on target. Compare that to 8 shots for Ipswich, 5 shots on target. You know, if that pattern continues, clearly they will go further behind. How do you arrest that in terms of the attacking players who clearly don't have much confidence right now?
Well, none of them are shooting, Hugh. I said this during commentary about 10 minutes before half-time. There was literally 3 or 4 opportunities around 20 yards. I think Callum O'Hare, Sidney Peck, both players played particularly well in that half, but I'm looking, they're 20 yards out. They've got an opportunity to get the shot on. The defenders are not really shutting them down because they know that they're just going to turn out and get it wide to either the left fullback or the right fullback to deliver across. And the Ipswich defenders are just going to head that clear. Greaves and O'Shea, they'll love that all game long. They'll just head that clear. I just feel once, you know, take the opportunity. If the opportunity arises, just put your foot through it, because you never know what can happen. You can take a deflection, it can go in. You can take a deflection, go wide, create an opportunity from a corner. Because that's all they're relying on at the moment, is those needless fouls being given away from Ipswich. They're delivering it into the box, and the Ipswich defenders are just heading it clear. It's a little bit too predictable. I would just say, and look, you know me, that's what I was like, that's what I was about. Just put your foot through it from 20 yards. You never know what can happen.
Buy a ticket, and that's the message from Darren Ambrose after that first half. We'll be back with the former Ipswich winger, although he might have brought his boots with him, for the second half very, very shortly. Just to let you know, elsewhere this evening, live football still ongoing in the WSL. Manchester City and Brighton level at 1 apiece. West Ham trail Arsenal by 2-1 at home in the Scottish Championship. Partick trail Airdrie by 1-0 at home as well. There is also action taking place in Rugby League Super League this evening. If I can just get the scores up. Lee Leopards at 12-0 up against St Helens, and Wigan Warriors at 28-0 up on Castleford Tigers. 34-0 up now on Castleford Tigers at the break. Also in the cricket, South Africa 66-3 in reply to England's 304. Phil Salt hitting a 39-ball century in their second T20 against South Africa at Old Trafford. That's the fastest ton for England in any format in their history. Remember, South Africa lead the 3-match series 1-0. So I'll keep you up to date with that. But our attention is on the Championship this evening, and Sheffield United fans will not want to hear the news at the break. They are heading to a 5th consecutive defeat to start this season. At the break, Ipswich Town on the way to their first win of the season, lead by 1-0.
Talksport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action, featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL. Touchdown! Plus, Talksport 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. Talksport 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Oh.
Maybe not.
Yorkshire tea, where everything's done properly. Yorkshire tea.
Right, enough of that. How about Yorkshire tea, where everything's done proper?
Einhell Pro Power Tools have arrived. Already. I'm uber excited. More power? Check. More performance? Super check. More warranty? Mega check. All powered by one battery for over 300 tools. With German engineering which doesn't cost a fortune. Plus, right now buy any Einhell Pro tool from your local stockist and get a 4 amp hour battery and charger kit totally free. Uber Super Mega Check. Einhell Pro Power Tools. The new kid on the block. See einhell.co.uk for terms and conditions.
Subway knows we're a nation who love a spud. Yep, you heard it right. A spud. A Jackie P. So we're taking everything we put on your sub and putting it on a jacket potato. Like a meatball marinara on a spud. Chicken tikka on a spud. Cheese and beans, classic spud. Then, you know the score. Load it with toppings, extra grated mozzarella and cheddar, of course. Stack on the salad, drench it in sauce. Oosh, now that's tasty. Sound like a bit of you? Get yourself down to Subway. Available nationwide.
You want the look, clean, close, sharp, but you don't have time to play around. Meet the Pitbull X5 series from Skullshaver.com. Our best-selling shaver, now even better. Smooth blades, stronger motor, better grip, built for speed, designed for skin. No mess, no mirror, no drama. 90 seconds and you're done. Fresh, confident, ready. Pitbull X5 range by Skullshaver. Available now at Skullshaver.com.
Join EE, the UK's fastest growing broadband provider today.
Why are so many people joining?
For starters, you get up to £300 to leave your current contract.
So I can leave now, with 7 months left.
Exactly. And Wi-Fi controls means back-to-school bedtimes are a breeze.
Right, I need some of this.
Well, then join the broadband switchers choosing EE.
Up to £300 credited to your EE account. Verify at ee.co.uk/claims. New customers, 56% availability, 24 months, terms apply.
Every emotion and total devotion.
It's game on.
This is Talksport 2.
It's a West London barnstormer. Live Saturday night Premier League football.
Oh, what a finish!
Full commentary of the Bees versus the Blues. Build up from 7 to 7:30. Kick off at 8.
He shoots, it's got in!
Brentford versus Chelsea. Exclusively on Talksport, don't you know?
The stars come out to talk on Talksport and Talksport 2.
Please welcome Rob Grimes on Talksport, a station that I'm always surprised at how much I enjoy it. And I go, this is great, isn't it? Look, he's got to sort out his back, isn't he? He's got to sort out the back row.
Massive names.
It's the superstar that is Usain Bolt.
When you score against a great keeper, it feels good.
Blue chip, gilt-edged, AAA rated opinion.
None other than Ronnie O'Sullivan, who is here in the studio with us.
When you read stuff back, you think, did I really say that?
Massive games, massive names on Talksport and Talksport 2.
The sports machine turns you on to the power of live football.
He fires in a beauty.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
We're underway. Ipswich 20th, Sheffield United 24th. Not a game you want to lose. Matos, non halfway, has slid in and worked the ball back towards the edge of his own penalty area. And Philogene is first to it and scores. It's a horrible moment in the midfield for Alex Matos, the player brought in to replace Gus Harmer.
No way did he expect it to rebound off his foot, go 50 yards in front of Jayden Philogene. But he done the rest. Fantastic finish. And it was coming, Jim, it was coming.
The writing was on the wall.
Jayden Philogene's goal is the difference at the break. Ipswich Town in confident mood as they aim for their first win of the championship season. It is Town 1, Sheffield United 0. The Blades have actually put in a respectable performance, but they will need to register in the second half if they're to avoid losing their first 5 league games for just the second time in the club's history. Second half coming shortly on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. And the championship action continues live and exclusively here on Talksport 2 this weekend, as we bring you live commentary of Oxford United versus Leicester from 12:30 tomorrow. Before we head to the Midlands, as Stoke City welcome Birmingham City from 3 p.m. And what a start it has been for the Potter. They won 3 of their first 4 games to kick off the season. They're third in the table. And on EFL All Access earlier this week, I caught up with local reporter Pete Smith from the Stoke Sentinel. These were his thoughts ahead of tomorrow's game.
Stoke have got a stronger squad than they have done last year or the previous couple of years before that. How far they can go up the table, nobody can be quite sure. But the Championship looks wide open this season. I think Birmingham will be up there. They've obviously recruited well. It came up strong as well. So, yeah, you're right. It'll be a good test. West Brom was a really good test as well. It was interesting. West Brom probably went away thinking they deserved the win and nobody would complain too much about that. But it was still a match of fine lines. The Stoke have got to find a way to. I mean, there are so many matches in the Championships which are fine lines. Hopefully Stoke have got enough about them with their squad that they can get on the right side of them more often. The previous match at Southampton, they played really well. And I thought that was the performance when I had the long drive back up north, thinking this is a good team. They play really well. And although Southampton could have scored a couple. I think Stoke deserved it. They saw that out with 10 men. Sheffield Wednesday gave them a good game. Stoke deserved that win too. And on the opening day as well, they beat Derby fair and square. So I think they look like a good side, but as you say, we'll know more over the next few weeks. Yeah. But as more of Stoke's new signings come into the mix as well, so hopefully Stoke will get stronger.
Looking forward to that game. Stoke City taking on Birmingham, 3:00 here tomorrow. Remember, it comes after Oxford against Leicester from 12:30. And we'll have EFL All Access back with you on Monday evening from 6 p.m. I'll be joined by former Wrexham captain Ben Tozer for the show as well. We'll have plenty of NFL action coming your way this weekend as well. So make sure you stay with us for that. On Sunday night, the Buffalo Bills facing the New York Jets from 6 p.m. And then we'll have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Let's head back to Portman Road ahead of the start of the second half. The players back out there on the pitch. And I just wonder how much Darren Ambrose, the atmosphere, might play a part in this second half. They need to get back into it soon. Otherwise, those Blades fans may well begin to turn once again.
Yeah, of course. And if they concede Ipswich early on in the second half, then maybe the atmosphere will die down in terms of the Ipswich support as well. So it's all about the start in this second half.
OK, players back out there. Let's rejoin Darren Ambrose, who's alongside Talksport's Jim Proudfoot.
Hugh, thank you. And no changes at half-time. Sammy Schmodix went in for quite a vigorous warm-up during the interval, but he hasn't come on at the start of this second half. Maybe there's just a few concerns about Akpom, but they're at least giving him the first few minutes of the second half to see if he can run off that knock that he picked up from a challenge from City Peck. So we are back underway. Ipswich blue shirts, wide shorts. They're kicking from right to left. That's towards the Bobby Robson stand here. The two-tier affair away to our left-hand side. And they're defending the Sir Alf Ramsey end of Portman Road. Sheffield United red and white striped shirts, black shorts in possession. Ben Godfrey finding Tom Cannon. Back from Peck to McGuinness. And out to Burrows on the United left. Worked forward into the feet of O'Hare. Burrows can come forward again. McAteer in there trying to win it back. And it's a fast and frantic start to this second half, as it was to the first. Not quite as open as it was from the very start of the game. But still a really good tempo about it. And Sheffield United win a throw, which Burrows has taken quickly. O'Hare tried to take it on, couldn't get past O'Shea. Matusua looking for Kayuste in the heart of the midfield. McGuinness wins it back away from Akpom. But neither side can get the ball into feet. It's not sticking with anybody at the moment. So many turnovers of possession in the opening 90 seconds of this second half. The Blades have it now. O'Hare. And it's wide of the left-hand post with a low effort that Palmer had plenty of time to judge. And he dived inside it. Goes out of play for a goal kick. Darren Ambrose alongside me. 1-0 to Ipswich. A couple of minutes into the second half here on Talksport 2.
Much better from Sheffield United. Callum O'Hare gets the ball 20 yards out. It opens up. He hits a shot. It's weak. It's tame. But it's a shot at goal. It's something different. It's not going wide. It's not coming back into the box. It's not getting headed clear. I have to say, though, Chuba Akpom come out straight to Farah Hallam, the referee. I still don't think he was happy about the challenge just before half-time. And as you said, Sammy Schmodix going for a vigorous warm-up at half-time. Maybe there's some concerns over that challenge, but he weren't happy once again.
Davis plays it back for Greaves, and he'll find Palmer. Takes a touch, put under immediate pressure by Cannon, and then Matusua thought that he'd sold Greaves short. What he did do was set up a 50-50 between Jacob Greaves and Alex Matos. Matos going in for the ball, and he caught Greaves in playing it. And it's going to be a throw to restart play. That was a hospital pass, really, from Matusua back towards Jacob Greaves, forcing him to go for it.
Yeah, it's one of those, Jim, wasn't it? That it was probably 55-45 in Greaves' favour, so he had to go for it. But Matos was sprinting in at him, and he knew he was going to get hurt. Turns out it wasn't as bad as it could have been, because it was one of those hospital passes.
And now Matos has raised his boot to try and get to a bouncing ball and play it legitimately, as he did. One of the Ipswich players went in, ducked his head in to try and make contact. And the collision between the pair of them has resulted in Matusua rubbing the top of his head and staying down injured. And there was an angry reaction from Matos, who leant over the Ipswich number 5 and told him that he thought he was milking it. Just having a look at a replay of the situation now. He's clearly made contact. He's caught him on the top of the head. I don't know why Matos was so angry that Matusua had gone down.
It's probably the two in quick succession from Matos, Jacob Greaves, which it wasn't a foul. It was a 45-55 in terms of Jacob Greaves, and then that, which clearly kicked him in the top of the head. He would have known that he connected with his head, so I don't understand the reaction from Matos. Maybe a little bit of frustration that Sheffield United are not back in this game, and this has just settled Ipswich down in this half, allowing them to just take a breather.
Now Ipswich lining up, Palmer in goal, Furlong, O'Shea, Greaves and Davis, Matusua and Kayust, McAteer, Akpom and Philogene and Hurst. Sheffield United have Cooper in goal, Godfrey, Tanganga, McGuinness and Burrows, O'Hare in front of Peck and Matos, and then Brooks and Barry wide, and Cannon through the middle, and Harmer still waiting on the bench to be called upon if necessary. I think the Blades fans would tell you it is necessary, but we haven't seen him yet. Matusua was back on after receiving that treatment. O'Hare plays the ball out to Harrison Burrows, the Sheffield United left back, and now Peck has it and can turn in the midfield. Just brings the ball to a standstill for a moment. Works it behind square for Matos. Matos to Peck and then back for McGuinness. He's on the edge of the centre circle. And the ball is played to the left-hand side for Alex Matos. 5 minutes of the second half, and Sheffield United have been the better team since the resumption. Nothing to show for it as yet. Ipswich have hardly been able to string two passes together in Sheffield United territory, but they might be able to now. Philogene trying to open up the angle on the edge of the area for a right-footed shot. Oh! Stunning! Absolutely magnificent. You thought the first goal was good, the second one is even better. He's picked up the ball, run across the edge of the penalty area, and there was just a moment's hesitation from one of the Sheffield United defenders. That allowed Philogene to knock it on another couple of feet, and he has corkscrewed a right-footed shot into the bottom left-hand corner past Cooper. Ipswich 2, Sheffield United 0 with their first attack of the second half. The Tractor Boys have doubled their lead.
Wow, what a goal, Jim, what a goal. And once again, Jayden Philogene gets the ball. It's an underlap this time from Leif Davies. He cuts inside Godfrey and he clashes. Godfrey clashes in the middle with Matos, which allowed that it opens him up, and instead of hitting the far corner, he hits an unstoppable strike into the near post. And I'm just seeing the replay. Ben Godfrey, he's got him, but Matos comes back, tries to come back through his side, bumps into Godfrey, opens the goal up for Jayden Philogene. Hits an amazing strike into the near post this time, and he's on the hat-trick. What a game. When it's your game, Jim.
Well, he scored twice at Manchester United last season, Jayden Philogene. He came into tonight having only ever scored 3 for Ipswich, but he is on a hat-trick. Sheffield United looking for a response. Peck tried to play it out towards the right-hand side for Brooks, couldn't find him. Ipswich, they've got big gaps to try and hit. Sheffield United's defensive line was really high. They had players running from in their own half, Ipswich, who would have been onside. And the Blades knew that they had to take matters into their own hands there. They've given a free kick away. It was a cynical challenge just to stop the pass being played by Jens Kayuste. And had that pass been played, it could have been 3 against 1.
Yeah, it was a foot race. If he allowed to play him that pass, it would have been a foot race. Juga Akpom and Mark McGuinness. And I think Akpom would have had him 4 pace going through. But it's Matos again, and I think that's what the Ipswich players are saying. Matos has 3 fouls in a row. Where's the yellow card? That's what they're saying. But it's a good foul to give away.
Now here's Akpom making his way forward, and that will be a yellow card for McGuinness. Well, Akpom tried to turn, and McGuinness has clipped him. So Mark McGuinness, the first player to have his name taken tonight. Ipswich 2, Sheffield United 0. Just 1 win in 7 months, which came at Bournemouth back in April. Only 10 points from the last 69 available for Ipswich Town. But the Tractor Boys believe now that this will be their night. Their first league win here at Portman Road of 2025 is getting ever closer. Thanks to Jaden Philogene. 2 goals from him. Leif Davis clipping in inside the penalty area. Akpom, the angle was really tight as he waved his left foot at it. It's actually hit Tanganga last and got out of play for Ipswich's first corner of the evening, Dan.
Yeah, he's done really well, Juba Akpom. He's getting in some great positions. Really impressed me tonight at Portman Road. And as the balls come in, I think he's done well to not hit it with his left foot and allow it to spin and hit Tanganga and go off for a corner. And they have to make some... If they score now, then it's game over.
Philogene will take the corner. Nearly everybody forward apart from Matusua. It's in deep towards the far post, headed back across the edge of the 6-yard box. McGuinness did well with an initial defensive header, and then the Blades can smuggle it behind via an Ipswich touch and out of play for a goal kick. I think it was Casey McAteer that it hit last. There's another Ipswich player down. It's Kayusta inside the 6-yard box, and he's going to need a little bit of treatment, and that will give Ruben Sayers a time just to gather his thoughts. Is it time now to bring Harmer on? Does he have to change things? Because the second Ipswich goal did come at the end of probably the Blades' best spell of pressure of the game.
Yeah, it was. It was a good start to this second half from Sheffield United. I think that the start of Homer should have started the game, and it's easy to say it now. We have all said this early on in the show. I think he should have started, and it's looking like it's an error. So I think the Sheffield United fans will be hoping that he makes a change soon, because he needs an opportunity. He needs long enough to try and change this game and turn it into Sheffield United's favour. Because, as we said, they just don't score one goal all season. They don't score enough, and if it continues like this, Ipswich going to see this game out comfortably.
401 minutes they've played since they last scored a league goal, and that was that Tyrese Campbell goal against Bristol City. They have now failed to score with each of their last 54 shots. Haven't had one on target tonight, still haven't had one on target away from home in the Championship all season. McGuinness plays the ball out to the Sheffield United left. Kayusta's okay. And play continues with Peck going back for Tanganga. 2-0 to Ipswich, with Jaden Philogene scoring after 20 minutes and then 6 minutes into this second half as well. Little shove from Leif Davis on Andre Brooks once the pass had been played by the Sheffield United man. O'Hare trying to get round the back of O'Shea, but it's cleared past him. Out of play for a throw. Sheffield United have taken it quickly. Burrows going back. Here's Mark McGuinness. McGuinness to Peck. Peck turning on the edge of the centre circle. Down for Tanganga. Tanganga taking it on. Pushed to the ground by Hurst. The referee just took a couple of steps towards Hurst there and looked as though he was going to reach for his pocket. He hasn't done so. It's an Ipswich free kick. A Blades free kick, I beg your pardon. But nearer halfway. And so the ball has been just kicked back in that direction by Philogene. Burrows runs round and will take this. Ipswich again, keeping this high line, 15 yards or so outside their penalty area. Then they drop back in. Burrows has actually teased it in short, hoping for a flick on. It's really well defended by McAteer, letting the ball bounce to deceive Louis Barry, and he can then clear towards halfway. McGuinness backpedaling with a good cushioned defensive header, finds O'Hare. Now Peck. Peck into the feet of O'Hare and quickly play back through the midfield. Goes out towards Burrows. Burrows to Peck. Kayusta is in there to try and win it back. O'Hare steering it forward again. Cannon nods it down. He's hardly had a sniff of a chance today, Tom Cannon. A player who is due a goal. He scored only one in his last 22 games. Godfrey has gone back through the centre circle. And now Peck can turn and build and bring it forward. And there's a good step over there from Burrows. Coming in off that left-hand touchline, Louis Barry. but he's lost that on the edge of the box. And Ipswich again are going to be able to bring it away until Peck wins it back. He's done that on umpteen occasions. Plays it on inside the box. Cannon! And that's a tip just wide of the near post by Palmer. It was well struck by Tommy Cannon, letting the ball roll across his body, and he unleashed a left-footed drive that Palmer was equal to.
Yeah, first opportunity, first real touch of the game really from Cannon. And I thought it's creeping in. I didn't think Palmer got enough on it, but he did. It's a strong arm, put it wide for a corner.
Corner which is taken on the Sheffield United left and headed by Hurst towards the edge of the penalty area. O'Hare. It's a bouncing ball out towards the Blades left-hand side. Burrows back for O'Hare. Another good step over. Barry trying to improvise on the edge of the box. Blades working down towards Brooks. He's clipped it in when perhaps he might have had a go himself there. And now he's got to backpedal really quickly as it looks as though Ipswich are going to be able to bring it away. Akpom's put the pressure on, but Brooks can just play a long-range 1-2 with his goalkeeper Cooper and then turn and get it forward again down towards Ben Godfrey. Played an hour, and it's 2-0 to Ipswich. They're good value for it with those two Jayden Philogene goals. But Sheffield United have had more possession in the second half. They've looked a little bit sharper, albeit that they're still not really creating too many clear-cut opportunities. And as they launch it forward here towards O'Hare, is always likely to be beaten in the air by Furlong. And Furlong steered a header wide enough of Palmer's goal that he could run safely to the ball and make a comfortable stop. 60 played, 2-0.
It must be said, they don't look like a bottom of the league side, Sheffield United. They have been good value tonight. It's been a good game of football. Just a couple of moments of excellence.
And now Hurst trying to get in. And he might. The angle is tight. He makes his way back. Oh, he's gone straight through the legs of Cooper for 3-0. More than an element of luck about that one. But George Hurst won't care. The Tractor Boys are harvesting their first victory of the season. Cooper looks ashen-faced, off balance, falling back, and in trying to stop Hurst's effort, it's just gone between his legs and in. Also eminently preventable with a long ball forward from Palmer. Hurst going up for it with Tanganga. It took a defensive touch, found its way through, and then flicked off Burrows towards the edge of the box. Cooper came out, got himself stranded, but just when it looked as though he got back in position, he couldn't deal with a tame, innocuous shot to his near post. And Hurst on the score sheet to make it 3.
Once again, Burrows deflected, landed in front of George Hurst. It was weak defending, weak goalkeeping, and Michael Cooper's had such a good game. He had a great first half, but what did I say at half-time in terms of Sheffield United? If you don't score, if you don't shoot, you don't score. George Hurst with a tame effort, as we said, from a real angle, just went through Michael Cooper's legs, and you got to feel for him because he had a great first half, kept Sheffield United in it numerous occasions, but it's poor goalkeeping. Jimmy has to save that at his near post. He's too weak in defence, too weak in the goalkeeping area, and the changes are coming now, and I think it's too late. It's too little, too late.
Well, it's a quadruple change made by Ruben Sayes, and Harmer is on. He's also brought on Sumare and Campbell and Chong. Ipswich are going to make a double change, and here is the moment that they were hoping to see tonight. Marcelino Nunez, after his £9.75 million move from Norwich, first significant move between the two East Anglian clubs since Andy Marshall more than 30 years ago. And Nunez is coming on for his debut here. Akpom has come off, and Schmodix is going to come on for Kai Eustace. So a double change. But here's Marcelino Nunez. And already an Ipswich legend is born before he's even kicked a ball.
I mean, what a cheer he's just had. What an arrival. And listen to this. Are you watching Norwich? I won't say the next bit.
3-0 Ipswich lead Sheffield United, and Hurst trying to dispossess Tanganga. And Cooper is going to be able to clear, get it forward towards halfway. Greaves coming to meet it, controls the ball, lays it down to his left-hand side. Then work forward by Davis, and it's in again from Greaves to Hurst. Flag's up.
I don't know about that.
Put the ball in the bottom left-hand corner, but the flag is up against him. No VAR, of course. So the goal is chalked off, and he's far from convinced that that is the right decision from the assistant referee, Ali Nelson, over on the far touchline. We're just looking at a replay here. It is the right decision.
Yeah, it's a good call.
It's a really good call.
Really
it's
good
close, but he's got it right.
Yeah, good call. I didn't know about it. I thought it was onside, more so because he was coming back, the defenders were going back, and it looked like he got himself onside, but it was a great call, offside. Good finish, though, from George Hurst.
So here's Campbell. First touch from him. Now out towards Harmer. Harmer's ball down the left-hand side of the Ipswich penalty area. O'Hare back to Gus Harmer again. Now Peck. Peck can turn and try and get away from Nunez. McGuinness. Out of the Sheffield United left. Harmer buzzing around. Very busy in the opening moments after coming on. It's a nice ball from O'Hare to Peck. He tries to drive in across. Matusua can block it at the second time of asking. But O'Hare recycles it in from Harmer. And easily headed away on the edge of the penalty area by Darnell Furlong. So the changes for Sheffield United. Harmer on for Barry, Samare for Matos, Campbell for Cannon, and Chong for Brooks. Quadruple change ordered by Ruben Sayers. It'll be interesting to see what the reaction is from Gus Harmer. He certainly had a very positive start. I'm sure his manager will want him to play like a wounded animal. I feel that he's got a point to prove.
And if you're Gus Harmer, I've been there, you do want to come on with a point to prove. Even if you lose this game, you want to do something, score a goal, have an assist, have an impact. Make everyone feel, you made the wrong choice, you shouldn't have put me on the bench. Not to battle against your manager, just to prove that you are the main man for this team. And it's been a good start since he's come on.
Ipswich 3, Sheffield United 0. In a half that Sheffield United started really brightly. They've had their first shot on target of the season away from home with an effort that was well struck by Cannon and tipped round the post. But they've conceded again since then. 3-0 down. Here's Philogene on a hat-trick, going down and waved up by referee Hallam. Sheffield United clear as far as O'Shea. 66 gone. Ipswich 3, Sheffield United 0. Ball kept in on the Ipswich right-hand side by Furlong. Back again to halfway for O'Shea. Greaves, his centre-half partner, showing for the ball. O'Shea is just trying to draw O'Hare into a challenge before playing that pass to Greaves. Former Hull man now finds another former Hull man in Jayden Philogene. And he's fouled by Ben Godfrey. Free kick taken quickly by Nunez. Philogene back in possession again. Square to his right-hand side for Nunez. Nunez to Furlong. Movements off the ball from Sammy Schmodix down the right-hand side of the penalty area, trying to create a little bit of space. Ipswich work it back again. Matusua on the edge of the box. Out towards Schmodix. Schmodix low one through the 6-yard box, but Cooper's handling was assured and made sure that he didn't spill it at the feet of Hurst. 3-0.
They're having fun now, Ipswich, aren't they? Jayden Philogene down here. He's giving Ben Godfrey a rough time every time he gets the ball. I did look at the replay of the penalty shout. Jayden Philogene, no penalty for me, went down too easily. But he's having a fantastic game. And Godfrey struggling against him.
Oh. That was Nunez with a wonderful moment of skill, a clever little turn which got the crowd to their feet. Philogene on his left foot. Oh! Take the match ball home and frame it. Get everybody to sign it and tell them how brilliant you are. You don't stop those. His first goal was great, but every subsequent one has been better. That one on his left foot, a rising, rasping drive in past Cooper. It's Ipswich 4, Sheffield United 0. They might not have won any of the first 4 games this season, but this is the kind of performance, both as a team unit and on an individual basis, that underlines why many observers think they can still go on and win the championship.
Magnificent. Jayden Philogene, unbelievable. First goal was good, second goal was better. This was sensational. He went down the outside this time. He's cut inside the first two, went down the outside, unstoppable. Unstoppable strike. Michael Cooper, no chance. Unstoppable, into the far corner. There's your hat-trick. Listen to this, the reaction from the stadium, from the players. What a performance from Ipswich and from Jayden Philogene.
Well, in the space of 48 minutes either side of half-time, he has doubled his Ipswich Town goal tally. 3 last season after signing, and another 3 tonight. And it is a brilliant hat-trick. That's as good a hat-trick as you could wish to see.
It's not over yet, by the way. It's not over yet. Well, it might be. Substitutions are being readied. I wouldn't take him off. If it was me, Jim, I wouldn't take him off. He's already on a hat-trick. Let him go express himself. It's not over yet for him, goal-scoring wise, if he stays on this pitch.
First senior hat-trick of his career. And here he is again. Leif Davis making a run outside him. 3 to try and hit in the middle. He's pulled it back towards Schmodix inside the box. Back to Philogene, urged to shoot by those in the Sir Bobby Robson stand. He's found Schmodix instead. And it's poked away inside the penalty area by Tanganga to find Taith Chong, and he can win a throw. Do you feel sorry for Ruben Sayers on the basis that tonight he's played against another side that haven't won a game, but he's sent his side out, and they've come up against a player in such supreme individual form?
Yeah, well, what can you say? It's been a good performance from Sheffield United, particularly in the first half. The second half, I'm just looking at it. I can barely speak in terms of the performance this second half, and the goals from Philogene. Tremendous. That last goal, we're right behind it. He hasn't cut inside. He's done a step over, gone outside. I said Godfrey struggling tonight against him. I pinpointed that at the opening first 5 minutes, that's what they wanted. Kieran McKenna knows his game. He knows it. And he's off. And I'm gutted that he's going off, Jim.
Well, he should have been chaired off by his teammates.
You know what I'd have done, Jim? I'd have gone the other side or halfway so I could get this reception. If we can hear this through the radio, the reception he's getting, and rightly so, absolutely brilliant.
They should have hired a sedan chair from somewhere and winched it down to the centre circle and put him on it. Because it must be the best hat-trick that anybody has scored here at Portman Road for years and years.
You'll struggle to find a better one this season.
Anywhere. Oh, just a sensational performance. 4-0 Ipswich with 20 minutes to go. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way in terms of the changes. McAteer, Akpom and Hurst, the players that have come off. Clark, Azon and Walla Ageli are the 3 players that have come on. So Sindra Walla Ageli on for his debut. £17.5 million signing from the Danish club Nordsjælland, who loves to play off the right-hand side, and he's in that position now, wearing 8 and chasing Burrows, who will be able to play a long ball forward. O'Shea has knocked that one away from him. So he's come on for McAteer. And we've also seen Ivan Azon come on, the Spanish striker who's on loan from the Italian club Como. He came on for his debut for the final 5 minutes against Derby. And he's on for the 150th game of his senior career. Sheffield United, good ball through the 6-yard box. Chong trying to get there. Then an effort comes in from Harmer that's deflected away to give them a corner. But they know now they're beaten with 17 minutes to go here on Talksport 2. And they're 4-0 down.
I mean, it's the first real chance that they've had in the last 20 minutes. Gus Harmer's just going out to take a corner. It's been a nightmare for them this second half. Mainly down to Jayden Philogene and the work rate. I have to say, Jim, the work rate of this Ipswich team all match. McAteer throughout the game when he was on working tirelessly for his team. Tremendous.
In swinging corner. It was a really good delivery, plenty of bite on it. Palmer trying to punch it away. It was cleared in front of him, and Ipswich will try and break. It's a good ball forward from Clark. Now to Mazon on the left-hand side. Intelligently turned back round the corner for Jack Clark again. Right-footed ball is clipped in towards the far post. And Cooper can save. A right-footed effort from Schmodix.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Great attack. Ivan Azon almost got caught up from Chong, laid it off to Clark, put it inside to Marcelino Nunes. Lovely delivery, and I just feel Sammy Schmodic's got great technique. Maybe he can go full out. We're 4-0 up. Go full out volley, try and hit the far top corner. Little bit precise, inside of his foot. Good save, Michael Cooper, who has had a good game, by the way, apart from the mistake from George Hurst. He's conceded 4. How must he feel?
Schmodix, incidentally, still yet to score here at Portman Road as an Ipswich player. He had a good record here as a visitor. Netted for Peterborough and Blackburn. In fact, he was a goal a game opponent for Ipswich at Portman Road, but is yet to score here for Ipswich. All 4 goals that he scored have come away from home. Crowd of just over 28,000 here tonight. And the vast majority of them are not looking on in disbelief, because they would have felt that, notwithstanding the poor start, a performance like this was eminently possible. But they'll always remember that hat-trick. Here come the Blades again. Left-hand side of the Ipswich penalty area. The ball's hit Matusua. The second time of asking, he can get it away. Another opportunity to try and play it in. Laid back here. And a defensive header. Can get it away from Burrows' cross. One back on the Sheffield United right by Ben Godfrey, up against his old teammate Jack Clark. He's been able to fashion a ball inside the penalty area, and Greaves deals with that threat and puts it out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Blades right. 15 minutes to go, Darren Ambrose.
But once again, it's a good response from Sheffield United. I know they're 4-0 down, but they haven't played badly. They've just been wiped away from these in terms of the goals. The forward play from both ends, that's been the difference. Clinical Ipswich have been, and predictable Sheffield United have been.
Davis heads away on halfway. Jack Clark with a touch. Samare winning it back, finding O'Hare. O'Hare towards the edge of the penalty area here. Gus Harmer coming onto it, right-footed, curving effort, and Palmer saves it. Guarantee that the one thing Kieran McKenna will be desperate for from here is that elusive clean sheet. Alex Palmer, remember, yet to keep one for Ipswich. In fact, he's gone 27 games without a clean sheet. Very few of those will be down to him, because he's had a good start to his Ipswich career. Here's Sindre Wolle-Ageli over on the Ipswich right, and the Norwegian international. He receives a return ball. He's got an opportunity just to drift in off that right-hand touchline, but he couldn't find Schmodix. And the Blades will be able to get it away. High ball forward. Campbell will chase after that. Greaves mops up easily. A little cushion defensive header to his right-hand side for Dara O'Shea. 77 gone here on Talksport 2. 4-0. And they've really laid a marker down tonight. Tomorrow, Arsenal take on Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. Ange's first game in charge of Forest after replacing Nuno. And you can hear it with Sam Matterface alongside Stuart Pearce at the Emirates tomorrow. Ivan Azon will chase after a long ball over the top, but Taith Chong is there for Sheffield United. That's a 12:30 kickoff over on Talksport tomorrow. We've also got Brentford-Chelsea for you tomorrow night from 8. 2 championship games here on Talksport 2 as Leicester go to Oxford at 12:30, followed by Stoke Birmingham at 3. And the award-winning Adrian Durham has Game Day Live with Troy Deeney and Mickey Gray tomorrow at 2:30 over on Talksport. All the goals as they go in, and the full classified check at 5:15. Ipswich bringing it forward again towards the edge of the penalty area. But Jibril Samare, the Senegalese midfielder on loan from Braga, can get it away. Sindre Ageli trying his luck from distance. It ricochets through for Clark! And it's 5 through the legs of the goalkeeper again. Ipswich still hungry for more. They have blown the Blades away.
It's that man, Jack Clark, he's come on. As Valia Gailey hits a long strike, gets blocked, ends up in front of Jack Clark. He bullies Ben Godfrey, who's had a nightmare game, it has to be said, and I'll keep going on about it, but he's had a nightmare of a game. More from Jaden Philogene. It's good tackle in the middle, Mutasiwa. It's a good strike, Valia Gailey, and he just hits it hard and low, Jack Clark, through the legs of Michael Cooper. It's too strong for Ben Godfrey. 5-0. I mean, no one saw this coming tonight in terms of... We see goals coming. We see it being an open game, Jim, but 5-0. Ipswich fans, none of them have left. What a performance.
Ipswich 5, Sheffield United 0. Greaves.
I tell you what now, Jim, it's not over as well, by the way. I don't think the goal scoring's over.
Harrison Burrows for Sheffield United, trying to work it inside the box. Campbell attacking that. He's headed away from him and then volleyed up the touchline by Furlong. Brought under control at the back by McGuinness. 15 attempts for Ipswich tonight, 10 on target. They've scored with 5 of them. And such has been the quality of goals, their XG is still actually under 2. XG would tell you they're about a goal and a half better than Sheffield United tonight, but they're 5 up. Tanganga.
I've come here tonight, Jim, and I'm in a bit of shock, to be honest, because it's 2 teams, wasn't it, that needed the win. 1-0 at half-time, bit tight, bit edgy. This second half's been sensational from Ipswich, it has to be said. The finishing, as you've just said, has been absolutely brilliant. The work rate from the team, it's not been that bad of a performance. Defending's been a bit questionable in the last 2 goals in particular from Sheffield United. The mistake from Michael Cooper as well. And like you said it, the clean sheet is vital now if you're Kieran McKenna, if you're Ipswich defence. It's been a great performance. And this puts them right back in the question now, that what everyone thought that they were the favourites this season.
Well, Femi Sariki is going to be coming on for Sheffield United in a moment. He will be thrilled. Here's Jack Clark. He's done well to win it back. Dispossessing Tahith Chong. The Blades very quickly with bodies back behind the ball. And here's Marcelino Nunez. Finding Schmodix. Schmodix to Wally Gailey, coming in off the right flank onto his left foot. And that's deflected away past the near post. And out of play for another Ipswich corner. Only their 2nd of the night. They lead by 5 goals to 0. Well, the crisis has been very much averted here at Portman Road by the strength and quality of this performance. But the misery is snowballing rapidly for those on the southern side of Sheffield. Leif Davis goes across to take this corner. Sindra Gailey is unmarked, 10 yards out. Nobody's picked him up at all. Sheffield United broadly defending zonally. And Sindra Gailey can come round the back. O'Shea got there ahead of him. He's actually got no touch off the covering defender. It's gone straight out of play. And it will be a goal kick that will be taken by Michael Cooper, but only after the change is made. And they're going to be taking Ben Godfrey off and bringing Femi Sariki on. So that'll be a straight swap at right back, you would imagine. Godfrey comes off. It has not been a happy return.
Look, you have games like this. You Ben Godfrey. I pointed out one against Spurs last season. It was his last appearance for Ipswich. Just feel maybe a bit earlier. Take him off a bit earlier. You know you're struggling against a wide player. There's no shame in coming off early, because you just say, look, you're struggling. Let's put someone else on. He's left him out there all game to be bullied, essentially. You've got to feel for him in a way. He's got to do better. He's got to be stronger. He knows the players that he's up against. But sometimes you've got to make a decision as the manager that benefits the team and not just the player. And he needed to come off earlier.
Ipswich have another promising counter-attack curtailed by the referee. Van Azon had gone down holding his head. The referee obliged to stop play despite the fact that Jack Clark was marauding forward through the middle at pace. Ipswich from the resulting free kick work it wide. As Wale Gailey gets towards the byline, stands it up towards the far post, but just got the angle wrong. It sailed over the goal and straight out of play for a goal kick. It's an encouraging round of applause from the Ipswich Town faithful. 6.5 minutes to go. And the raw stats are horrible from a United perspective. This will be a 7th defeat in a row in all competitions. And you go back to that playoff final, and the second goal that they scored that was disallowed controversially, and nothing has gone right for them since then.
Nothing at all. You look, it happens. This shouldn't happen. 5-0. 5-0 shouldn't happen no matter who you are. I think this will be their biggest defeat in the second tier for 25 years, Jim. Wow. If it stays like this. I mean, that's incredible. Ruben Sayers, I mean, is he going to walk over and applaud the fans this evening? I'm not too sure it's going to go down particularly well.
Harmer. Good 1-2 between him and Burrows. And now O'Hare on the edge of the penalty area. Knocked away from him by Marcelino Nunez. And then a shot comes in from Harmer that he's dragged wide and well wide of the near post. And of course, the Sheffield United selection is going to be talked about. And I will ask Ruben Sayers that very question after the game. But would it have made a huge amount of difference had Harmer started tonight? Because they would still have been trying to deal with the brilliance of Philogene.
True, but at least give yourself something. Don't let there be an issue. And as you said before the game, that was the talking point. Gus Harmer out the side. He's made that himself. If it had worked, fair enough, it would have worked. But it hasn't, and all the questions are going to be around that.
Harmer borrows Peck, and he's got a touch, and it's just looped up and straight into the hands of Palmer. Goes down as another shot on target, only their second of the night.
I think that's hit Greaves as well. I don't even think it was Peck. I think it's hit Greaves and bounced up into the arms of Palmer. So I don't even think that will count as a shot on target, Jim. I'm waiting for the replay, but I'm sure it missed him, hit Greaves, bounced up. Thankfully in Alex Palmer's hands, because as you said, he will want to keep this clean sheet this evening.
Well, sooner or later the drought here at Portman Road was bound to end. It had to. I don't think too many would have anticipated that it would end in this kind of fashion. 5-0. Hammer playing a loose ball through the midfield, seized upon by Clark, reversed into Schmodix. Well saved by Cooper. Came out, made himself big, narrowed the angle, and beats it away for a corner.
He's gutted as well, Sammy Schmodix. He'll know what you said earlier, Jim, that he hasn't scored at Pullman Road yet. Good goal scorer, good finisher, good save. Brilliant play, Jack Clark. Feeds it through to his mate Sammy Schmodix, tries to hit it through the legs of Cooper. This time he kept them closed. And good save, as it could have been 6.
Still time for it to be. 3.5 minutes to go. 5-0 Ipswich here on Talksport 2. In comes the corner towards the near post. Oh, it nearly was. Furlong came to meet it with a very deliberate flick. And Cooper wouldn't have got there, and it's hit the side netting only about 6 inches past the post.
And they know it. They know it. Leif Davies went over to him before the corner and said something in his ear. This is a deliberate one from the training ground. Hit it at the near post. Lovely deftness of touches from Furlong. As you said, if that was on target, that goes in. Nothing anyone could have done about that. Clever one, that. Didn't quite work out.
Cooper's long clearance headed back by Greaves through the midfield. Azon drops off the forward line and tries to flick it on, but his header went straight to a blade. 4 from Harmer. Now Callum O'Hare. O'Hare back for Gus Harmer again. And he's lost it again, and Schmodix is going to be able to get past the challenge of the sliding O'Hare. Ipswich will bring it forward quickly. Back to halfway. Matusua. Inside the centre circle, Marcelino Nunez. Down towards Greaves. Greaves coming forward with pace. Davis. Now Jack Clark. Greaves actually in an offside position. Clark couldn't play the pass that he wanted. Peck is back to defend. And controls it. Works it forward towards Femi Siriki, and he's been fouled by Jack Clark. He wants to take the free kick relatively quickly, but was trying to do so from the wrong place. 5-0 to Ipswich. Next up for Sheffield United, Charlton at home. Then they go to Oxford, and then Southampton go to Bramall Lane. Ruben Sayers now definitively with the worst start to a Blades managerial career in the club's history. First man ever to lose his first 6 games in charge of Sheffield United. Paul Heckingbottom had also lost 5, but he won number 6 at home to Brighton a few years back. So this is going to be 6 defeats in a row for Ruben Sayers, and 7 in a row if you include that playoff final for the Blades. Jack Clark down towards Leif Davis. Davis controlling the ball on the left flank, back towards Nunez. Greaves. Now Nunez. Ivan Azon, plenty of time for him to bring the ball under control and turn, and then he got caught by Tanganga, who just couldn't resist. It's a challenge born of the frustration of a horrible night, and Japhet Tanganga's booked.
Well, it's frustration, but there's no need to do that. It's just, I don't know, it annoys me. It's just showing people that, oh, I care, we're losing 5-0. You don't care by coming out and receiving a yellow card, giving away a needless free kick. You care by doing things right, and not Tanganga, because he had a good first half. But it's just needless booking, and that might come and hurt him in the matches to come.
5 minutes of added time. And Ipswich 5 goals to the good as we go into it. The ball played by Leif Davis towards the edge of the penalty area. Greaves. Little ball flick forward, hits Siriki. Marcelino Nunez. And he's cut across it and sent it spinning high over Cooper's goal and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, that could have topped it off, couldn't it, for the Ipswich supporters. Marcelino Nunez getting his first goal. But yeah, he got that all wrong. Bit wayward, high and wide. But the screens are just showing Jayden Philogene. And look, we have to talk about this hat-trick. It was outstanding. I'm not sure you'll see a better one this season, particularly in the EFL, that's for sure. Tremendous. First goal was good. Second was better. Third was just outstanding. And a really good performance all round.
You know, anybody that has a £20 million price tag on his head should be able to rip it up in the Championship. But it is just a sublime individual performance from him tonight. Here's Azon, and he's won a free kick. As the ball came back to him, Samare fouled him. So Ipswich with a chance for number 6 from a free kick in a pretty central position, about 8 yards outside the box.
Yeah, and they'll definitely be looking to shoot from this distance. As you said, what are we looking at? 25 yards, I say. The cries of Nunez sang out in the crowd. I think they want him to have a shot. I don't know if Leif Davis will allow it, but he seems to have picked up the ball. Nunez, he's placing it. Will it be him? Will it be number 6? And this will top it off for both of these teams tonight if this goes in.
So the Blades have got 4 in a wall. O'Hare coming across and standing near the edge of that wall. And he is stopping, or trying to stop Ipswich players breaking behind him to create a space. Nunez, hands on hips, is the player that is addressing this. Leif Davis, similarly, standing just behind the ball. Looks as though it's going to be Nunez, though. Portman Road gathers its breath. It is Nunez. Oh, and it was close as well. It's only gone over the bar by about a foot. And Cooper was scrambling quickly. He may have been beaten had that dipped in time.
Oh, it was close. You can tell by the reaction of Nunez and Leif Davis, both standing on the ball. Looked to have dipped just at the right time. I think it was a foot over and a foot wide. It was well struck. And I just felt the shot he had before, I thought Leif Davis would say, no, get off this. But they allowed him to take it. It was a great strike that almost eluded Cooper in the goal.
Has scored once this season. Did get a League Cup goal for Norwich. Here's O'Shea back towards Palmer. He's only a couple of minutes away from this first Ipswich clean sheet. And ball goes out and there's a throw which Sheffield United are going to take on the right-hand touchline. Peck leaving it for Saricki. Sheffield United about to be played 5, lost 5, scored 1, conceded 12. For a side that had ambitions of beating the third place that they finished last year, that is a torrid and most unexpected start. I mean, Forest lost their first 4 in 2021, but they went up through the playoffs. Sunderland lost the first 4 in 2006 and won the title. In fact, Sheffield United, you'll remember back in 2016 under Chris Wilder, when they were in League One, they had 1 point from 4 games and ended up winning the league by 14 points. So nothing is ever definitively decided in August or September. But this has been a nightmare start of epic proportions. Sindrawale Gailey trying to make his way down the Ipswich right. He's won a throw. And we're in the final 40 seconds. Ipswich in no real discernible hurry to get the bodies forward. It doesn't really matter from here whether they have one more attack or not. It's been a good debut for Darnell Furlong on the Ipswich right-hand side. And he's taken this throw. Finding Wale Gailey down by the dead ball line, intelligently pulled back by him for Schmodix. It gets the return ball, trying to get a left-footed shot in, he can't. Peck knocks it away, and then a fan on the front row of the crowd on the far side with a great header, nods it back in. Can't hide his self-delight and appreciation, and starts almost doing a lap of honour of the Cobbold stand over on that far side.
Amazing.
Full time. Two sides who started here without a win between them. It's Ipswich that have spectacularly broken their duck. But this is a night that has turned the drama into a crisis for Sheffield United. 6 defeats in a row for them. Where do they turn? A night where they left Gus Harmer out, and it only got worse for them. A night where we saw one of the great Ipswich Town hat-tricks. Philogene King, Ipswich 5, Sheffield United 0.
The Tractor Boys are on the up. A first home win for Ipswich in 2025. Kieran McKenna's side move up to 11th in the championship table for now. 6 points from 15 available. Sheffield United stay rock bottom at 4 games now without a goal. It's 5 league games, 5 defeats, and now a minus 11 goal difference. Sheffield United will host Charlton next Saturday. Will Ruben Sellers be in charge for that match? Ipswich go to Blackburn Rovers. Elsewhere tonight in the WSL, Manchester City beat Brighton 2-1. Arsenal won 5-1 at West Ham. In the Scottish Championship, it was Partick 2, Airdrie 1. And in Rugby League, at Lee 28, St Helens 10 is a later score. Wigan 56, Castleford 6, and England beat South Africa by 146 runs to level the T20 series at 1-1 with 1 to play. Darren Ambrose, former Ipswich winger, that is the exact night that Kieran McKenna would have hoped for.
Wow, and some, Hugh, and some. 1-0 at half-time. We thought it was a bit edgy, a bit tight in the first half, anything but in the second half. A tremendous performance. Jayden Philogene with the hat-trick. It's been an all-round good performance by Ipswich. He was just getting the plaudits by the supporters. He's got the match ball in his hands. But look, Kieran McKenna knows what his team are about. And this will send a message now that, yes, they are the favourites for this division, and rightly so. Yes, it's been a poor start, but tonight they've really sent a message out.
It's about the quality, isn't it? Jayden Philogene lapping up all of the applause and praise from the fans inside Portman Road. Jim mentioned the price tag that brought him to Ipswich Town, but the reality is we've seen him in this division. He's been a very good player, obviously, that brought that kind of attention. But tonight should show Jayden Philogene the kind of level that he can hit in the second tier. He can dominate games, he can change them and win them on his own if he chooses to.
This has to fill him full of confidence, Hugh. And look, it's been a rough start, actually, a tough start to his Ipswich Town career, particularly at Portman Road. There was an element of criticism coming his way because he hadn't made that impact, particularly in the Premier League. But tonight he's really shown why they spent all that money on him. Kieran McKenna knew, the players knew. There was no surprise when that third goal went in. I see the reaction of the Ipswich players. They see that day in, day out. And this should fill him full of confidence. And that's only good for Ipswich Town. That's only good for Kieran McKenna to have a player of that quality, full of confidence, going into a real tough season in the Championship. When you're favourites, you need players to be match winners, and he certainly was tonight.
Q, I need to point out the reaction from the Sheffield United supporters to their players, who went over, kept a respectful distance away from the fans. They got a standing ovation, the Sheffield United players. The immense, magnificent support from the travelling Blades is well known. They clearly feel that it's a time for unity, of sticking together, of backing the team, and hoping that they can all pull in the right direction and get themselves moving back to where they should be. There aren't that many fan bases, I think, that would have conjured up that reaction after a night like this. But it was an act of defiance from those Sheffield United supporters, and fair play to them.
Yep. Absolutely, I agree. And I think there was a sense of, especially for those travelling supporters, that the widespread nature almost went viral, didn't it? The reaction of those Blade fans after their last defeat. They wanted to put some respect back on that fan base's name. You know, that probably didn't represent them in the way they want to be seen. They are much better fans than that. And it's fantastic for Ruben Sellers, for his players tonight, to be given that kind of reception. I hope it gives them a big boost moving forward. The question is, will he be moving forward? What do we think about the future of Ruben Sellers after tonight? My personal feeling is he came up against a very, very good side, but the fact is it was a 5-0 defeat. It is 5 straight league defeats to start a season for the first time in 30 years, and it doesn't make great reading.
No, it doesn't. I think he stays, Hugh. I really do. I know, look, I said in commentary that you can't lose 5-0. You can't when you're one of the favourites to get promoted. I know you're against the favourite to win the Championship. I don't think you can lose 5-0, but I think it would have been done earlier in terms of the international break. I think they'd have done it earlier. They now have a home game against Charlton and then an away game against Oxford. Two sides that they would have earmarked that they should be able to pick up points against those two teams. It will be difficult, but I think now the owners will be looking to what reaction the players have, what reaction Ruben Sellers has, and after those two results or performances, we might see the end of him if they don't react in the right way.
How do they react from this? How do the players lift themselves? How do they get back out there next time around, you know, with the resolve to improve and drag themselves up the table?
With a bit of pride. I've been there. I've been on the end of defeats. I think I've been on the end of a 4-5-0 defeat. Your pride gets hurt. It gets knocked. Especially they're going home. Their next game is at home against a newly promoted side in Charlton. You need to go out there and you need to show some heart, some fight, some spirit. If you get 1-0 coming off the backside of the forward, it's irrelevant. You need to go out and just show that you're ready for the fight this season, because it may well be a fight. 5 defeats on the bounce to start the season is no good, but if they get on a winning trail, a winning run, of course they can turn it around. And I think you just need to show that you're ready for this fight and show a bit of passion and a bit of desire, particularly in front of your home support.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Jim Proudfoot alongside Darren Ambrose, a former Ipswich winger. Remember, we've got more live football coming for you, exclusively live in the EFL tomorrow here on Talksport 2. Oxford against Leicester at 12:30. We'll have Stoke against Birmingham from 3 o'clock. And remember, on Sunday here on Talksport 2, midday start for Southampton against Portsmouth, the first South Coast derby between those two for 6 years. Plenty of Premier League football for you on Talksport as well tomorrow, 12:30. It's the debut in the dugout for Ange Postecoglou. Nottingham Forest going away to the Emirates to face Arsenal. We'll have Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, Troy Deeney and Mickey Gray. All the goals as they go in from 2:30 and an 8 p.m. kickoff tomorrow evening, exclusively live on Talksport between Brentford and Chelsea. Well, a 5-star performance from Ipswich and Jane Philogene means the Tractor Boys are up and running with a first win of the season. But have we seen the end of Ruben Sellers' time in the Sheffield United dugout? It's a dagger in the heart for the Blades. It's finished Ipswich Town 5, Sheffield United 0.